Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I've made a proper video. The last one I did, as you guys know, was St. Patrick's Day, talking about the encounter I had with a leprechaun or shadow people, whatever you want to believe that it was. But aside from that, I really haven't had much time to sit down and do really a lot of filming and editing and keeping up with my channel. A lot of you probably will think that's kind of weird, especially with everything that's been going on right now with the pandemic and basically all of us being in quarantine, not being able to really leave our homes and do much. I'm actually working from home right now. Thankfully, my job had the ability to let me work from home, so I'm still able to work. I'm still able to make money, so I'm not really worried about that, but I know there are a lot of people right now who are out of work, and I wish my best to all of you. So my quarantine basically has consisted of, aside from working, I was really gonna take this time to write, to make more videos and share more stories with you, more paranormal stories, more just stories of things going wrong, a little bit more story time, reading some of my fiction, poetry, and starting to do things like that I wanted to do later on in the year for my 31 days of Halloween and stuff like that. I thought, I could share some stories now. But basically my quarantine has consisted of me being super lazy. As you can see, I'm in a bathrobe. I'm super comfy right now. I've been watching movies. I've been eating a bunch of junk food, not doing everything that I should be doing. So it really has not been that productive. Here in New York, things have been really, really crazy. I'm sure a lot of you have been seeing what's been going on in the news. There's been crazy amounts of people that have been confirmed with the virus that's been going around. Thankfully, I'm safe. My family, they're all well, and we're doing good. We're basically just staying quarantined and staying away from one another. So I will see my family once everything is done, but basically I'm alone. I am bored out of my mind. But like I said, I've been watching movies. I've been dealing with these little brats. They've been keeping me entertained, if nothing else. But I do really want to take some more time to sit down and write and make some more videos for you guys. So please bear with me. I'm planning to get a lot more done in the coming days and hopefully the coming weeks so that you guys have more content to watch while you guys are in quarantine and pretty much just as bored as I am. On top of me being super lazy and not very productive, I have not shaved. It's really bad. My hair is getting really long in places that I prefer it wasn't, but in New York here, all of the barber shops are closed, so I'm gonna have to deal with it until everything is over with. So we'll see what I end up looking like. I'm gonna look like a hobo by the end of all of this, but everybody is, so I cannot complain. The main thing tonight that I wanted to just touch upon, for those of you who don't know, are my two anthologies that are actually out. I have done a few other Precious Publication videos talking about anthologies and things that I've been published in, but I have my own collections of just my work that are out for those of you who are not aware, and I will include the links to those down below on Amazon. They are both eligible for Amazon Prime. Right now, I know Amazon's really not shipping much that isn't medically necessary and whatnot, but it will get to you if you order it. I just can't promise that it will be there as quickly as it normally would have in a day or two. So the first collection that I want to share with you guys is actually my first collection that came out last year in June, and I'm really proud of it. I love the work that's in it. A lot of it is older work, but it's gotten a lot of praise from people who have gotten their copy. And a few of the stories that are in this anthology actually are best-selling stories, and I will talk a little bit about that once I get into it. This anthology, for those of you who are interested, is called Into the Uncanny. Into the Uncanny is my first collection of fiction that I had put out of basically all of my work. It's 12 original dark/horror fiction stories that I've had published in other anthologies that the rights have reverted back to me over the years. So there is work in here from, I believe, as early as 2012, going up to some pieces that were published essentially up until June of last year. You definitely can tell how my style has changed from 2012. So as it progresses, obviously the stories get better. But I wanted to put together a collection of fiction that I have had published, because a lot of publications these days, as I explained in other videos, is digital, especially their anthologies these days. A lot of it is turning to digital magazine versus physical copy. And a lot of my family, especially like my grandparents, they don't use the internet, they don't have access to these digital means, so they always want physical copies. So that's kind of what led me to producing a physical copy of these anthologies. And this one is just solely my dark and horror fiction work. And the stories in here range from those about Jack the Ripper, about ancient forest spirits, about paranormal stories, ghosts, phantoms, things like that, and some other folklore and some myths that maybe you guys even know yourself. I'm not going to give too much away, but there are 12 stories in here, and all of them do have a very dark vibe to them. The one story that's in here that I had mentioned as a bestseller is my story, The Hunger. Some of you may have read it, some of you may have heard the audiobook, and if you've followed my previous 31 Days of Halloween, you've probably heard it either read by me or by Bill Otto, who was the narrator of the story in the audiobook deal that I had gotten through my publisher. So that story is included in this anthology. Like I said, it was a bestseller. It went on to getting beyond just an ebook deal. It also got an audiobook deal, and it has sold many, many copies, and it is the publisher's actual bestseller. So that is included in here, along with 11 other stories for your reading pleasure. So anybody who's interested in dark fiction, this is definitely for you. These stories, like I said, all of these were actually read during my 31 Days of Halloween last year. I'm probably going to read them in my 31 Days of Halloween this year on this channel. But if you want to get a head start and figure out which stories are your favorite, definitely pick this up. It's only $10 on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, shipping is free. So definitely hop on that. And my other anthology that I have out currently is my poetry anthology, Watercolors. So Watercolors is not all of my poetry. I have had so much poetry published over the years. My first piece actually was published when I was 12 years old. I think I have talked about that in the past before. If not on here, I've talked about it on other social media platforms. And most people know that that's what kicked off my writing career. But this anthology is comprised of 18 poems that I hand selected to put together in this anthology. Pretty much ones that I thought worked the best together, and those that over my entire writing career I enjoyed the most. Some of these are also pretty big bestsellers. One of them actually won a first place award in a writing contest, and one of the poems in here actually was also released for the Apollo anniversary last year, and I was asked to do an audio reading of it, and it actually was released through NASA's satellites into space. So my voice is orbiting space. That's pretty awesome, if I do say so myself, and that piece is included in here as well. Because it's poetry, it's much shorter, obviously, than my fiction anthology, and this one goes for $7 on Amazon, also free shipping and eligible for Amazon Prime. So you can get both anthologies for $17, free shipping, and you will have them here hopefully very soon. I know, like I said, with the pandemic going on, Amazon is not shipping as much as it used to, but it's something to think about. This isn't really a Precious Publications because I'm not really going into the details about the publication process, because these are anthologies that I have had put out myself. They are not ones that I was published in. Every piece that is in these anthologies was published somewhere else. They are all reprints, but like I said, most of the anthologies these days are digital. So these are physical copies of some select pieces that I personally liked the best and could fit into anthologies of a certain theme and genre. My big reason for promoting these right now is, and I understand that you guys are going through pretty much the same thing as me. A lot of you guys are out of work. A lot of you don't have extra spending money right now. All the conventions and everything have been postponed or canceled so far this year until at least August here in New York. Pretty much all of our summer shows are canceled, postponed to a later date, or just being rescheduled until 2021. And the big problem for me is I sell a lot of my writing at conventions. Yes, I'm a cosplayer. Yes, I go there for that reason and for my family. As some of you know, my grandfather, he just retired from Marvel Comics after 69 years of working in the industry. He's an artist there, and he still does a few things here and there, but he's pretty much retired, but he still goes to conventions if they're local. And I usually go there to sell copies of my writing And with everything that's been going on, it's been taking a hit because that's sort of my other income is my writing. And I just wanted to make this video to make it aware that I do have these 2 anthologies out for those of you who didn't know. And if you are interested in picking them up, I have the links below, and it would help me out a lot with getting a little bit of extra spending cash during these times to pay off some of my bills and everything that normally I would be having this income for the rest of the year. Like I said, I know a lot of you guys are in pretty much the same boat as me. Some of you actually you don't have a job right now, or you are not getting income because your job is not open, which is completely understandable. I'm not pressuring anybody into buying a copy of either of my books, but I wanted to make it known that they are out there and they are available for those of you who may be interested. So again, for those of you who like darker horror fiction, my book Into the Uncanny is definitely a good option for you. And if you guys are interested in poetry and like that, then my anthology Watercolors could be for you. I do have 2 other anthologies that are scheduled to be coming out this year of solely my work. The first one is a compilation anthology of every piece that I've ever had published over the last 16 years. So that's going to be a really big book, but it's going to be something that anybody who is interested in basically all of my writing that I've ever done and wants to see how I progressed as a writer, all the places that I've been published, it's definitely the anthology for you. I'm also putting out closer to the holidays my dark holiday fiction anthology that I was working on for NaNoWriMo last year, but never completed due to everything that was going on around that time. For those of you who know, my cat Scarlet had passed away, and it pretty much put a damper on my entire project, and I never really got around to doing my 12 days of horror miss where I was going to be reading those stories. This year, I'm definitely doing my 12 days of horror miss, but I'm also releasing my anthology of dark holiday fiction around the holiday season as well. So definitely look forward to those because I will be sharing links, I will be sharing information as we get closer to their release dates. But right now, with everything that's going on, most of the presses are down. Even with my regular writing and submissions, haven't heard back from a lot of publishers. I've gotten emails from other ones saying that anthologies are postponed. A lot of books that my work is supposed to be published in this year have been pushed back to a later date because printers are not open, and it's kind of taking a hit just all over in the writing world and in the world in general. So projects will be coming out. I just don't really have information on release dates, but I definitely will update and let all of you know as soon as I have more information. But in the meantime, like I said, I do have these 2 anthologies available. The links to buy them both are down below, so definitely check them out if you're interested and pick up a copy to help support me, support my writing, and to give you a little bit something to do during your quarantine. I'm going to wrap this video up with saying I hope all of you are staying healthy, you're staying safe, you're staying smart, and you're washing your hands, you're not touching your face, and you are social distancing and staying home and only going out if you really, really need to. Basically, if you need to get your medicine or go to work if you're an essential worker. And if you are, thank you so much for all that you're doing and all that you're risking, because you're really helping keep people healthy and recover and trying to maintain a little bit of sanity and normalcy in people's lives. I hope all of you are also finding ways to entertain yourself. I know this is really hard for a lot of people. Other people who are introverts, you probably are loving this because it's really no different than your everyday life. But I know for a lot of people, it's really hard, especially not being able to see friends and family. But just remember, by staying inside and not going out and not having parties and all things like that, you are just going to make everything go away faster, and you'll be able to see your friends and family so much sooner than if you are out and doing things that you normally would be doing. So please, 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 guys, stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, and don't be stupid. And also remember, just because you may be healthy and you may recover from this if you get sick really quickly and it may not be a problem for you, there are people out there who have weaker immune systems and elderly people and others who have underlying health problems that this could be a massive problem for. And as you guys see every day, this is a very serious issue, and it could be a matter of life and death for some people. So please, guys, stay home, stay safe, wash your hands. I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.